Well, welcome back to the Strategic Stripping 30-day red light or red room series where we're going to talk about health the whole time. So I have plugged in my headphones, and that's literally just so that I can listen to music while I do this, so that I don't have any other kind of distractions going on around me. And this time I've actually written out a kind of overview of what I want to talk about, the quality of the last 2 or 3 videos that I put out. That's not what I want. I want something to be very clear and concise, and I want it to be way more planned out, but this has just been kind of winging it. So, but I knew I would start to get a little bit, I'd get in the flow of it and get better at it. And like I said, this is an experiment. So we're going to see how this goes. So day 4, detox. The topic is on bentonite clay. I hope that me talking sideways, I'll get all this stuff figured out, but for now, and if you hear my dog in the background, I apologize, but I'm not going to kick her out. So if you hear some weird licking going on back there, that's what that's about. So, okay, so yeah. Okay, topic, calcium bentonite clay. So first of all, how did I discover this magical element that's sent literally from God or the universe or whatever, delivered directly to our feet? That has some absolutely miraculous benefits. Well, I've been studying how to kill Lyme disease, how to detox from mold toxicity, and how to destroy parasites living in the gut. There's a lot on this topic that I really wanted to cover, and in 2 hours, this is the amount of information that I came up with. So maybe in the future I'll need to do more, because I still left out a lot that I wanted to talk about with this. But let me tell you guys the surprising things about Lyme and mold and parasites that could very well be affecting you that you don't even realize. It could be hurting your productivity, your creativity, keeping you lethargic, lazy, paranoid, craving foods that are keeping you overweight, keeping you from sleeping, keeping you from repairing and restoring your body. We're going to start with parasites, because those little buggers are in all of us and none of us have a chance against them. I mean, they keep coming back. There's no stopping them, really. They're going to keep coming back, which means that you need to keep doing detoxes from these little fuckers regularly, because they keep coming back. You kiss your dog on the lips, right? You're going to get parasites. You don't wash your hands enough, you're going to get parasites. You eat things that feed parasites, you're going to get lots of parasites. You're going to get parasites pretty much no matter what. Even if you're super healthy, you're going to get parasites. So you need to detox from them, and what they can do to you is terrifying. I'm going to tell you one quick story that I didn't write down in here. I heard that from 2 people that I unbelievably respect and care about, Marcus and Kara, Marcus Rothkranz and Kara, I don't know what her last name is, but they're on YouTube. You can find them on YouTube. They have a channel called The Healthy Life, and they say, and they're super, super healthy, and they look really good for their ages. They look really good, period, no matter what age. But they say that parasites, I don't know if this is in all fish or in a particular type of fish, but they can take over the mind of this thing so strongly that parasites can make a fish commit suicide, hop out onto a rock where it can't get back in the water, and literally commit suicide, so that a bird will come and eat the fish and they can repopulate in the bird. Okay. When I heard that, I was like, what the fuck? These little things, they talk to you. They can control you, and they can make you think that it's you that's thinking these thoughts. So there are these little bugs that live inside of all of us, and they can and do control our thoughts, and they tell us what they want to be fed. So these super intense cravings aren't necessarily from you. They could quite well be, probably are, from the parasites living inside of you, which is kind of scary. So I believe that in part that's why when you go on a fast, even if it's just one for like 24 hours, we'll start having these thoughts like, is this good for me? I feel like I'm hurting myself or dying, I'm losing nutrients and whatever. And well, something inside of you is dying, and it's those little parasites. And something fascinating is happening while you're fasting called autophagy. So, are you ready for this? Autophagy is when it's it's the process of self-digestion by a cell, the action of enzyme originating within the same cell. It's the act of feeding upon itself. It's your cells eating other cells. So it's the body feeding upon itself in a fasting nutrition by consumption of its own tissue. So that might sound disgusting, but what it's doing here is when you're constantly eating, like all of us are, most of us are, when you give yourself a chance to not really exactly starve yourself isn't exactly the right word, but kind of, your stronger cells start to eat your weaker cells. So, okay, best way for me to describe what the hell is going on here that might kind of make a little bit more sense is when I lived back in Florida with my ex, I had a gigantic $7,000 organic garden planted in my backyard. And we grow a lot of it from scratch as well. But that garden, I mean, those little plants, they were my babies, every single one of them. And it took me an abnormal amount of time to break up with my ex, actually, because I didn't want to leave my plants. But the point is, I came home one day and he had cut off lots of pieces of my plants. And I was not happy with him, to say the least. And he assured me that he had done lots of research. He and I were both hardcore researchers, and said that he was 100% positive that you were supposed to get rid of the dying parts of a plant so that healthier new aspects of the plant could grow, instead of the plant sending tons of energy to this part of their plant that's dying. So it's kind of like when you get split ends on your hair. You don't try to heal your hair. I mean, you might, but all those creams and stuff probably aren't doing shit. They might mask it and make it look like it, but you just cut it off, and then your hair grows back healthier. So it's the same with your dying cells. So, and as a matter of fact, when you practice calorie restriction, I think it was in rats, when they cut out 30% of their intake, the rats live to be like 33% longer. So calorie restriction can really help enhance your life in lots of ways. WebMD says that it says restrict calories, revive your life, forget about supersizing. A restricted calorie diet may add health, youthfulness, and longevity to your life. Not that I believe everything that WebMD says, but I know a lot of people probably do. And I've done tons of research on this, and I do believe that statement. So calorie restriction expands lifespan and retards aging-related chronic diseases. I'm not going to go into all of them right now, but I'll throw out this one because of the COVID panic, which supposedly one of the biggest impacts is on the lungs, is calorie restriction helps with people with asthma. It can help with asthma. So, a lot of people think that as they get older, all these aches and pains start to happen because of it being an age-related thing. But what does that really mean? You're aging. What does that mean? Does that mean that your body has to be getting worse because it's aging? Well, I don't think so. I think that people are letting their bodies, they are letting their bodies get beat the fuck up, and in particular with what they feed it. So, because you are what you eat. You are what you eat. And on top of that, environmental toxins, toxic thoughts have a profound effect on your body. Toxic relationships have a profound effect on your body, your mental well-being, your physical well-being. Toxic work situations, family situations, all of these have a significant impact, positive or negative, on your health. One way or another, it's going one way or another. Things are getting better or they're getting worse. Things are not staying the same. You're improving or you're getting worse, one of the two. I don't have all the answers. I don't think anyone has all the answers on how to fix all of this stuff, other than for us to live on or create a radically different planet, which I will discuss my version of utopia eventually and how it's actually possible. But right now I'm just giving you some things to think about, and that will take me back to the topic of clay. So detoxing, extremely important. Actually, one more story. Okay, so back in 1912, and I don't know all the details on this, you can look it up yourself. This is from one of the articles that I found. French surgeon and biologist Alexis Carrel, I think is how you spell his name, or how you say his name. Well, it's probably not how you say his name because he's French, but and his associates produced and maintained a series of chicken heart tissue cultures at the Rockefeller Institute in New York City from 1912 to 1946. The series of chicken heart tissues remained alive and dividing as during this while this guy was alive taking care of them. And they exceeded a normal lifespan of a chicken by 24 years, I think is what it was. So because I was running out of time, it takes me a long time to research all this stuff, but so I'm not going to get into this whole topic, but the gist of it is this guy kept this heart tissue from this chicken alive for 34 years, I think it was. And then on average, the normal lifespan of a chicken, not a factory farm chicken, but a regular chicken, is I think 10 at most. And the only reason why the tissue died is because the guy died. So it might still be alive. And they eventually started calling it immortal heart tissue because people didn't understand how it was possible. But all he was doing was he was keeping it in a clean environment, he was giving it the right nutrients that it needed, and he was cleaning up the waste from these cells, detoxing. He was keeping the shit out of their, space. So that brings me back to bentonite clay again. So this is straight from Dr. Axe's website. Dr. Josh Axe is one of my all-time favorite, hands down, resources to go to. So I'm not trying to copy this guy. This is the guy that you would want to learn this from there's tons of different places to learn this from, but I'm just a conduit. I learn all kinds of stuff that I find fascinating and I like to share it. And, maybe if it wasn't for me sharing all this stuff that I research like a maniac, you might not find it. So I find that kind of cool because over the next at least 27 days, we're going to go over a lot of health stuff that I wouldn't normally talk about on this channel because, I don't know, I feel like strategies, like I should be talking about strategies, which is why I think I'm also going to make another channel. But because the whole world's shut down for now anyway, I feel like I can get away with this. So, but I do want to make this clear. When I have health questions, I absolutely go to Dr. Axe. I type in whatever health question it is, and then I type in Dr. Axe's name, and I go to him first because I find him fucking awesome. So all this stuff is like almost word for word from his site. I've kind of moved some things around and whatever, but what is bentonite clay used for? Calcium bentonite clay specifically, because there's also one called, I think, sodium bentonite clay. So calcium bentonite clay is now taking off as a wellness trend among people who are looking to naturally improve skin health, detoxify their bodies, and improve digestion. Individuals in various cultures refer to bentonite clay as healing clay. Since it cleanses various parts of the body, it's possible to enjoy bentonite clay benefits by taking it internally, in other words, drinking or eating it, on top of using it topically. So bentonite clay is ash taken from volcanoes, which is pretty cool. And it helps with a tremendous amount of things. So healing skin conditions. Clay has a special ability to act as an antibiotic treatment when applied topically. Bentonite clay can calm skin infections like diaper rash and dermatitis and all types of other things. I looked up different testimonials for bentonite clay. Holy shit. I should have found that. You know what, if I have time, actually, I'm going to look up, I'll just add it as a link of different testimonials from this stuff because it made me cry. So many of them were just so fascinating. I started crying. Topically applied bentonite clay has been shown to heal some type of different kind of ulcer, which is apparently a flesh-eating infection. It's used as a mask. It can be used as a mask to bind bacteria and toxins and help remove substances from the surface of the skin within the pores, helping to reduce breakouts. I put that stuff on my face and on my hands and stuff. Oh my God. So the way that you can do it is it comes as like a dry powder, and you mix it with a little bit of water, and then you just put it on topically. And depending on how much you put on, I think depends on how much will pull out of it or pull out of you, toxins and stuff. But if you just want to use it as like a mask or something, or on your hands or whatever, you put it on and you let it dry and you wash them off, and oh my God, your skin will feel so ridiculously smooth. It's really cool. So it can help with balancing oil production on your skin, preventing acne blemishes, alleviating redness due to inflammation and irritation, fights allergic reactions and irritation due to lotions and face washes that are probably completely toxic for people that they don't realize. And it can help treat skin ulcers. It aids in detoxification and the digestion process by removing toxins, digestive distress, causing chemicals and heavy metals from the gut. Bentonite clay helps promote digestion. Research has shown that in animals, bentonite clay can bind to particular toxins like aflatoxins that are common in a standard diet, which, stuff in at least the American standard diet is horrible, like fucking horrible. And can help pull those kind of toxins out of the body. When left unattended, an influx of aflatoxins can contribute to liver damage and potentially even to onset of certain cancers. I'm not sure when this was written, by the way, when he came out with this article. I don't think it was any time recently, though, but he also mentions a type of coronavirus. So I don't know how many of you know that, coronavirus is... There's a lot of different types of coronavirus, but COVID-19 is a particular type of coronavirus. So he said that in one study using cows, scientists found that bentonite clay molecules bound to bovine something rotavirus and bovine coronavirus, two major viruses that contribute to gastronitis. I don't know exactly if I'm saying that word right, referred to as stomach flu, that people get also. So variations of both of these viruses can also be found and present in human beings. So thanks to its ability to neutralize bacteria in the gut and kill viruses, bentonite clay helps to alleviate many digestive problems. Some people use clay as relief for nausea and vomiting, including pregnant women and people with irritable bowel syndrome. It's possible that the reason people find relief in the situation has to do with the way that bentonite protects the lining of your intestines from letting toxins through, which would otherwise contribute to leaky gut. So far, this effect has been observed in animals and also applied in human subjects, but may also apply in human subjects. Bentonite clay is also safe for your pet to consume as well. It can protect against bacterial infections, boost the immunity by killing harmful bacteria and viruses, supports in digestive and respiratory processes, aids in dental health, which I just made a toothpaste out of it recently, and oh my God, my teeth have never felt more clean before. You mix, there's lots of different ways that you can do it, but I mixed let's just say a tablespoon of bentonite clay with a tablespoon of, maybe not that much, of coconut oil, organic coconut oil, and you can pick your essential oil. I found out that myrrh was really, really good for dental health, but oh my God, that stuff tastes fucking awful. So I don't recommend that one, but I did use mint or peppermint and sweet orange, which was a really good mix. But there's tons of different essential oils that you can use for this, and just make up your favorite toothpaste, and oh my God, it feels really good, and it sucks toxins out of your mouth, and because it's clay, it's gritty, it gets out plaque unlike anything I've ever seen before. Like, it's the real deal for that. So supplies nutrients, I'll talk about that a little bit. Can potentially help with weight loss, which I think it definitely helps with weight loss. It can help expel toxins and heavy metals. So just so you guys know, people that have Alzheimer's, which is, the disease where you lose your mind, when they do autopsies on those people, like all of them are found to have aluminum in their body or in their brain. So using bentonite clay can help pull that out of your body. Mercury, lead, all kinds of just horrible things that end up in the water, the people end up taking inside internally. It can help pull this stuff out. It can help with respiratory health, which is really good because, right now, I think I already mentioned this, apparently this COVID-19 thing affects lung health significantly. So if you can also take clay and help pull this, pull whatever kind of toxin out of your body, it can help, you breathe, which is pretty good. It's pretty cool. It's an antibacterial. It has antibacterial properties and fights off various pathogens responsible for diseases such as E. coli and a virus that can cause staph infection. It contains a range of nutrients. Bentonite clay is known to have an abundance of minerals, including calcium, magnesium, silica, sodium, copper, and iron and potassium. It nourishes skin and hair by balancing oil production, removing dead skin, clearing clogged pores, and fighting bacteria. This stuff is incredible. It helps improve the health of your teeth and gums. Like I said, I've already made some. The mouth is one of the most susceptible areas of the body when it comes to harmful outside invaders taking over, like bacteria and toxins. Bentonite clay binds these unhealthy substances in the mouth, such as around the teeth and in the gums and on the tongue, and it helps remove them before you swallow them, and they make you sick. It's not the best tasting thing in the world, but like I said, you can work with it and make it taste good. I haven't figured out exactly how to yet. I think if I add a little bit of stevia, that'll help a lot, but right now I'm also in the experimental phase with it, and I have not mastered that yet at all. So it's been used apparently in natural toothpastes. I don't think maybe I have gotten a toothpaste that has bentonite clay in it. I'm not sure. I don't think so. And you can use it in water as a mouth rinse. Also to, do that. Something else I found fascinating was that it removes fluoride from drinking water, which fluoride is hard to get to. That's a hard thing to remove from water. I know because I've looked into lots of different water purification systems, and fluoride somehow slips through the cracks consistently with a lot of these things. So it can help remove fluoride from drinking water. It says bentonite clay has been researched as an effective way to remove some of the dangerous fluorides often found in drinking water, which is linked to serious diseases such as diabetes, thyroid dysfunction, and brain damage. Enough said. When combined with magnesium, bentonite clay has been shown to improve the purity of tap water, which leads to some promising possibilities for using it in the future as a widespread, cost-effective water purification method. Bentonite clay, and that might be very convenient if COVID doesn't go away anytime soon and all of a sudden our people that are supposed to be helping clean the water are gone. You might want to pick up some bentonite clay. So bentonite clay essentially seeks out toxins in the body to bind with them due to its chemical composition. I don't know exactly how it works, but it's like it's either positively or negatively charged, and then diseases like bad stuff in your body is positively or negatively charged. And it's the opposite, right? So they suck together like a magnet, and then clay pulls it out of your body. So it sucks it together like a magnet and a sponge, absorbing harmful substances that can be removed from the body. While in its natural state, bentonite clay has negatively charged molecules. Most toxins and heavy metals have positively charged molecules. This allows the two to bind together and stay united while a toxin removal process happens. Heavy metal toxins usually refer to substances like mercury, cadmium, I don't know what that is, cadmium, I'm not sure, lead, and benzene. Upon binding, bentonite clay is able to remove meat, toxins, chemicals, and impurities from the gut, skin, and mouth. Additionally, it's used to reduce the presence of toxins in the food supply and animal feed. Some people choose to use bentonite clay as a supplement since clay is a natural source of important daily nutrients. When ingested into the body, either in drink form, which I've drank it doesn't taste good, but it doesn't taste bad either. It's just very different. It's very weird. I've been mixing it with tea, and it's just different. It's, you're drinking clay, but when you can do it right, you can do it wrong. I wouldn't drink it in water, but I would drink it in tea. Or you can sprinkle it onto your food, which I haven't done that yet, but I should start doing that too. And it's a form of vitamins and minerals. Those forms of vitamin and minerals are absorbed into the body just like a supplement would be. So I've put it on my skin and it feels incredible. A quick story. I'm out my 33 minutes here in a second, but and I'll answer questions if anyone has one in a minute. But when I was 18, I was living in South Carolina. I got strep throat, and it was the most painful thing I'd ever been through in my life at the time. And I actually ended up driving 11 hours to go back and see my mom because I was in so much pain. And I'm sure she gave me a colloidal silver, but the main thing that I remember her doing was when I was going to bed, she put bentonite clay on my throat. It was like this, it's like a powder, and you mix it with water, and then you put it on, and as it dries, it sucks toxins out. So it dries and it gets really hard. It feels really weird. But the next morning, I felt almost 100% better, and I couldn't believe it. That was some of the worst pain I had ever been in my life. So the stuff is kind of like, it seems like it's a miracle cure, and I absolutely have enjoyed it a lot. And perfectly, I'm at the very end of my thing here, and I'm at exactly 133. So yeah, I feel a lot better about this episode than I did about the last ones because I actually had some preparation and whatever. Hey, every day in every way, getting better and better. That's a good affirmation to tell yourself, by the way. Every day and every way, I'm getting better and better. I think everybody should say that to themselves. Kind of like, I like myself. 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 All right, so let me see. Does anybody have any questions? We've got a few people in here. I got to figure out how to find myself on my other phone. If no one has any questions for me, I'm going to go. Chat. I don't know how to find it. Oh, hi, C. Oh, yeah. C says, I've been saying I like myself every day, or I've been shit, it disappears too fast. Damn it. Something along the lines of she's been saying she likes herself, and I'm sure it's worked for her, because I don't think it's possible for it not to work. I don't think it's possible for it not to work. It really helped me out a lot, especially because you feel silly while you're saying it. So you're like, I like myself, 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 I like myself. And I mean, you can't help feeling silly. It has been working. She says it has been working. Hell yeah. Awesome. I just came up with a new mantra for myself for my yearly goal. And well, more so than of a something you and I actually talked about, money goals and stuff. So I'm excited about that. By the way, we need to do our mastermind. We still haven't done it yet. So at least not since yesterday. Oh my God. Oh yeah, it's Wednesday. Okay. Any other questions? Is that it? I might have missed something. I'm not sure. Tomorrow I should have internet. So if I have internet tomorrow, like actual internet, okay, here we go. If I actually have internet tomorrow, that'll make this a whole lot easier. Okay, so here we go. Hold on. The topic was about bentonite clay. Really, it was about detoxing, actually. I use green and herbal tea. The clay that I have is, there's two types. Oh gosh, that's a really good question. So one of them is called bentonite clay, calcium bentonite clay, and that one's for like drinking or eating or putting on your skin. And then there's another one called magnetic clay, and magnetic clay is intense. You put that in a bathtub, and supposedly that will so I'm not gonna lie, the other day, I think 3 days ago, 4 days ago maybe, I took a bath in magnetic clay. I felt weird the next day. I felt really, really weird the next day. I had a rash pop up on my body. My skin started to feel really weird. And I mentioned in my last video that I found out that I have Lyme disease. And Lyme disease comes from you get bit by a tick, something that's like this tiny little itty bitty microscopic thing that can fuck up your whole life. And if you don't, if you don't get rid of it, if you don't treat it, and so many people don't know that they have it. God, I had so much more I wanted to cover in this topic. Maybe I need to have part 1, part 2, part 3, because I really left out a whole lot here. But I started to feel really weird, and I think it's because of starting to pull stuff out of deep inside my tissue. There's another thing that I have called it's called teasel root. Yeah, it's called teasel root. And this also is used for Lyme. It goes deep into your tissues, and it can pull stuff out. I also found out about something called Japanese knotweed, or knotweed or knotroot. I just ordered it yesterday though, and that also supposedly is like the miracle cure for. I mean, in combination, all these things really help, right? But can also is really good for getting rid of Lyme disease. Lyme disease is a bitch, you guys, for real. So is mold, and so is what was the other one the other main topic here? Lyme, mold, and parasites. Those things are bitches for real, and they're persistent. You got to really go after them. Max asked about being a vegan. I've been a vegan for like a decade, and I love it. I don't see any cons to it. The only con I can see, really is the social aspect of it, I suppose. Telling people you don't want to eat their food, some people might feel like you're being snobby or whatever, but that just depends on who you're around. If I'm around somebody at this point that, would look at me like, what? I wouldn't want to be hanging out with that person anyway. So that's been my only, weird thing about it, but I haven't had any problems with it. As long as you're supplementing correctly. Vitamin B, I think, is really important for that, but do you think you need to have a really fit body to start stripping? I think my body, oh my God. Was that you, Max, that just asked that question? I know you're not going to start stripping. Or was that somebody else? Okay. Okay, no, that wasn't you. No, you don't need a really fit body. You do not need a really fit body. There's tons of girls that are not fit at all. It's hugely about personality and sales and confidence and stuff like that. And all of that stuff, comes with practice. I mean, I've always been fairly fit, but I was very shy, and I was introverted, and I was a virgin, and I did it. So, but I think it helps you. I think it helps you if you're in good shape, because when you feel good, you're going to be able to sell better or easier, I think. Now, if you're overweight or thick or whatever you want to call it, and you still feel good and you're happy with who you are, that's all that matters, right? The thing I think about being fit, that I think is just incredibly important, is because it's important for your health. It's important for your brain. It's important for all of you. So, if you want to be overweight and you want to, rock it, that's fine. But I promise you that it's not good for your brain. Like, I can assure you, it's not good for your brain. It's not good for your body. Yeah, there's probably plenty of vegans that have unhealthy skin because lots of people don't do it right. Just because you're a vegan doesn't mean you're healthy. People that are vegans eat, bullshit too. But that has nothing to do with whether you're vegan or not. That's about you. What are you eating? You could eat like potato chips all day, cooked in bullshit, and be vegan. That doesn't mean you're gonna be healthy, That's I find that to be such a ridiculous thing that people think about, that vegans are supposed to be healthy. There's some very uninformed vegans or people that are lazy or whatever, but that's with whatever. It's all about, it's a whole lifestyle. It's not, I'm not saying being vegan for me is a lifestyle, but I don't know what I'm trying to say here. think you said to me, you have terrible people skills. You feel like stripping would help you come out of your shell more. It will. I can assure you, it will. You have to. If you're going to strip, you absolutely have to come out of your shell. There's no option unless you want to be a broke stripper. Then you can go in and just hang out and not make money. But if you want to, you know, it's helped me incredibly. And let's be honest, you know, even as an introvert, people are important, you know, people are everything. So I was always interested in psychology. I was always fascinated. I am fascinated by psychology. I think in part because so many of the things that people do just confuse me so much. So I wanted to understand more. So I learned more. And then after a little while, I started to realize, after I started stripping, I started to realize, wow, I can make a lot more money by knowing psychology. Because if you know, if you can see somebody, like, if you can notice the different things on there, like read their body language, read their face, you know, whatever, I think that, well, it's true. You'll be able to know what's up, what they're thinking, and not all the time. I've been wrong so often. Oh my God, about, you know, about what I'm thinking with people, and it's trial and error. And you can just open up and ask people questions. Like, for example, when I go to sell, bye girl, I love you too. When I go to open up to people, when I'm sitting with customers and stuff, and I don't think that they're interested at all. Like, I don't have long sales pitches. I mean, I'm in and out. You either want me or you don't. And I'll come back later maybe or whatever, but understanding behaviors is key to everything. But if I'm talking with somebody and I don't think that they're interested, I might just straight up ask, do you want to dance? Like, no, like, you know, whatever, I'm just asking, do you want to dance? And I have been shocked at the amount of yeses I've gotten, even when I felt like it was over, like they weren't interested at all. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, great, let's go. So I think that you should try stripping, because, to the girl that asked about stripping, I think that you should try it because why not, really? Life is short, and I would rather regret the things that I did than the things that I didn't do. And you might hate it. Your first day, you might absolutely hate it and decide you never want to do it ever again. But at least you can say you tried, and it'll make a great story later in life. So I think I'm gonna go. I'm starting to get a little bit hot, and I got other shit to do. So does anyone have any other questions, or no? I'm gonna go. It's been almost 40 minutes. So, all right, guys, this is fun. I appreciate you coming out and checking this out. I'm always, I don't know what that means. Anyway, have a good night, everybody, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Oh, and I would love feedback, by the way. So if you guys want to give me some feedback, go ahead and give me some feedback. That'd be fun. Ciao.